nice. All right, so I got a couple. I actually got like 3 parlays going, but I'm gonna for tonight because I like to just stick with a Thursday night game. All right, so what I'm gonna I gave you my one that I like the best and I'm leaning on the most here going into it. So I like Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, Austin Eckler anytime touchdown. Terry McLaurin gets over 60.5 yards receiving. Saquon Barkley combination of 111.5 yards rushing and receiving yards, and then Jalen Hurts over 25 rush yards.
Yeah.
That's at plus 22.90.
I like
plus 22.90. So that's a 5-leg parlay for you. So that's my Thursday night juice for me going on here. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We the Buds help you catch your bets. I'm Jason Smokin Togan.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're going to get this thing started here real quick here. Shout out to Director Dave, keeping us up on the ones and twos. True on the track for giving us, bless us with those beats, get us going. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, add to the comment section. Any feedback we appreciate with you guys. We want to get back to you as soon as possible. Anytime you comment in that comment section. Thanks again for tuning in to Bets and Buds. Let's get this party started here, Bobby Light.
All right. So we're going to talk about the Blues first. And since we sat down here last week, they've gone 0-3. They got blown out 8-1 again for the second time this season.
Ugly. Ugly loss last night, too.
Yeah, ugly loss.
Gave up the game against the Bruins.
Yeah, you're up 2-0 going into the third period in that game and you just sat back and did nothing. So they're 7-9 on the season right now, having lost 3 in a row. It's not looking good. They got a game tonight against Buffalo, though, so hopefully they can bounce back against a team that's struggling. They're 3-6 since Thomas went out. I mean, they're just going to be a bad team without him.
Yeah, and I think how long is Broberg out for?
Oh, Broberg will come back about a week later after Thomas, so he's out just as long. Yeah, it's not looking good right now. They got to figure something out.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit, but it's early. We got a long way to go.
Well, the Jets are running away with this one. They're 15-1 already.
Yeah, record start for them. Man.
Yeah,
kicking ass.
The Jets are just dominating. Colin Hellebuck is setting the world on fire.
Yeah, they're kicking ass. They're kicking ass.
Not that we talk a whole lot of NBA on here, but the Cavs are 13-0 to start.
Oh
the season.
The Cavs have been like lighting the world on fire.
Yeah.
It's just them and the Celtics right now. Everybody else in the East sucks.
Yep.
Everybody else in the East.
And then out in the West, you got Oklahoma at 10-2. So
yeah, I mean it's gonna the West's gonna be a dogfight, man. I mean, like when Wembanyama, I mean he's just like I don't know what anybody's gonna do about that dude. Did you see that block he had the other night?
He's sick.
Got faked out on the shot. Gets turned around, still turned around, and got the block right underneath the basket. I mean, like 7'5" with that type of skill level. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? I mean, he's gonna be a nightmare for years to come for the NBA as long as he can stay healthy. So.
Mm-hmm. There's really not much to talk more about the Blues, though, because that's about they've like I said, they got a game tonight. They can get back on the winning track against the Buffalo team.
Plus, it's Thursday night football, so I won't be watching any of that
shit. Yeah, we won't be watching the Blues tonight anyways. So, speaking of Thursday night football, we have a big game this week.
Yes, we do. This whole slate is going to be actually a nice week in football this week.
So, Washington at Philadelphia.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
All right, man. So, I got 3.5 this Washington being dogs on the road against the Eagles.
4.
You got 4, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like, FanDuel still had him going at 3.5, which I like that 3.5 better than I do the 4. Either way, going all the way around, this game is not really a home game or like a road game for either team when they travel because they're in close proximity with each other. So, I mean, this is always kind of hit or miss. I actually like the Commanders to come in and get a bounce back win in this game here. And they're obviously that means they'll cover that 3.5 points. And I have the over under was bumped up to 49.5. I actually like the over on this game.
Okay.
Which is going to be this is like typically when you got this high score in the game, when you're doing prop betting, this is a gambler's delight right here. Right. I mean, anytime like last week I hit that game against the Bengals and the Ravens last week, I got a parlay hit on that one because again. When you got a high scoring over-under where it's like 49 to 50 points, somewhere in that range, it's a gambler's delight as far as prop betting is concerned for your star players. So I like the over on that one.
Okay, I like Washington I'll take the 4 points for Washington. Okay. I think this is going to be a close game. This is a division game, two teams that know each other very well. I actually like Philly to pull this one off at home, and I will take the under at 49.5.
Okay, all right, so we're going to go with that one there. All right, so the next up we got the Jaguars at the Lions. The Jaguars have been struggling in mediocrity. Like as far as
Mac Jones. I'm assuming with the spread this ridiculous, Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback again.
Yeah, 13.5. I think it's the largest spread of the season.
13.5. Yes. I have 13.
Yeah, 13.5 is what FanDuel has.
Oh, it's 14 now.
14 now. Yeah, I mean this is the largest spread of the season so far. Really going on this one. I have a hard time betting on an NFL team to get beat that bad. Right. I mean, the Lions have been putting beatdowns on people, but again, That's kind of like, I mean, you're asking to kind of get lured in on that one. So I actually like the Jaguars to cover this game at 13.5. Lions obviously get the win, but then at 46.5 in the over/under, I like the over on that one.
Okay,
like the over on that one.
I agree totally. I like the give me the. I'll take that 14 points all day long.
Yes.
The over 47. I think the Lions could easily put up 49 by themselves.
Easy, absolutely.
And Detroit to win.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so next up we got the Packers at the Bears. Packers at the Bears. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I think Green Bay. The Bears, just since they lost that walk-off Hail
Mary. I mean, they've kind of folded and crumbled.
They just do not even look like the same team right now.
They fired their offensive coordinators. So, I mean, we'll see what happens there. But.
So I'll give up the 5.5 points because I've got Green Bay at 5.5-point road dogs. Yep. I'll take the over 40.5 and Green Bay to win.
Yep, we're in total agreement on that one. I don't think we need to cover much into that. I mean, the Bears, like right now, are a dumpster fire.
Yes, they are.
It's to anybody out there who doesn't like really adamantly watch football. You got to build with the offensive line. You can have all the skilled players in the world. When you have no offensive line, you got nothing. I mean, because you can't do anything if you can't block anybody.
Yeah, and that the optics on the field last week with the offensive lineman not picking Caleb Williams up off the ground.
Yeah, I mean,
it's bad right now.
Yeah, it's looking ugly. Definitely looking ugly. All right, so next up we got the Rams at the Patriots. Patriots at home in this one here. They are 4.5-point dogs at home through FanDuel.
They are.
Yeah, so who do you have? You got 4.5 too as well?
Yep, I've got 4.5. I'll actually take the 4.5 for New England here. But I like the Rams to ultimately win this game. I think it's a field goal game. And give me the over 43.5.
Okay. So we're in disagreement on this one because I like the Rams actually to cover that 4.5 points. Obviously, they're going to pull out the win here in this game, and I like the under at 43.5 points. I think it's a get-back game for the Rams. The defensive line for the Rams playing really well. They couldn't block anybody last week whatsoever, but that was the first time they had all their offensive line back together in one game.
Okay.
And so I think they get a little bit more cohesiveness this week and actually kind of get. I mean, and the Patriots have somewhat of a pass rush, but nothing devastating enough that like what they saw last week.
No, because they traded away the one guy.
Yeah, Uche. Yeah, they went to the Chiefs. So I like the under on this game on 43.5 and the Rams to cover. All right. So the next up we got the Browns at the Saints. Famous Jameis returns to New Orleans. Famous Jameis returns to New Orleans as 1.5-point dogs.
I mean, the Saints got a big win last week.
They did.
We had talked about, do they get the coach bump?
Yeah, neither one of us thought they would. And they definitely did.
They picked it up.
Which means, I mean, it makes them kind of question Atlanta. I think they might be kind of on the phony bubble there. Right. On the phony bubble. So who do you like in this one?
Well, Cleveland's a dumpster fire right now, too. They just can't seem to get anything going.
But I see Jameis kind of giving them a little juice down there.
I can see that, but I think New Orleans, off the big win last week, handles business at home. Give me New Orleans. I'll take the 1 point, and give me the under 44.5.
So I got one in the hook. So I got the 1.5 of them as being dogs. Okay. I actually like the Browns to actually go down to New Orleans and actually win this game.
All right.
I just get something within my gut just tells me I just feel like New Orleans is going to. I mean, the Cleveland's going to go down there. Jameis is going to get those boys fired up. It's a return game and revenge game, so to speak, as they like to call it. And I like them to get that win. I like the under at 44.5.
Okay, we agree there.
Yes. All right, so next up we got the Vikings at the Titans. Vikings
picked up a big win last week. I mean, it wasn't pretty.
It was ugly.
It was not pretty.
Sam Darnold was looking like Sam Darnold
That
again.
was my upset pick of the week, and I almost
You
got
almost
it.
got it. You almost got it. If they could have scored any more points, and Mac Jones couldn't do anything.
No, he couldn't.
Stuff, I mean, yeah.
I didn't even realize Mac Jones was going to be the starter. I would have never even touched that game.
He didn't look horrible. Honestly, I mean, it was. I mean, the Vikings have made a lot of people look horrible. They made Brock Purdy look horrible earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really,
No, that defense is strong.
Yeah,
that defense is strong.
It's very strong.
So I like Minnesota to handle business down in Tennessee. I'll give up the 6 points. Minnesota win, but I like the under the 39.5. I don't see either team putting up big numbers here.
You know what? We're in a disagreement on this one.
Okay.
Both defenses are pretty solid, but I still kind of feel like that over might have because I got 39.5. That's what I got. So, but I actually think the Titans can cover this game.
Okay.
Vikings get the win. They probably win ugly. But
they do play close games. It's just it's just Minnesota football.
Yeah, it's just Minnesota football, baby. So but I like the over at 39.5 on this one. All right, so next up we got the Colts and the Jets. Both teams desperate for a victory here.
Yes, they are, and the Colts are going back to Anthony Richardson.
Yes, they went back to Anthony Richardson, which I don't know how I feel about that. But, Flacco hasn't looked good really the last couple weeks either. So, you might as well put the young kid back in if you're going to be losing football games.
The Jets need a big win here. Yes. I actually think they handle business at home. I'll give up the 4 points and give me the over 43.5 here.
Okay, I got them at 3.5. I actually the Jets have been burning me the last couple of weeks. I told you they were dead to me gambling wise, but you know what? This is one of those games. Either one of these teams, I don't have a lot of faith in Anthony Richardson going into
No.
this, but I feel like it could be a close game because I got them at 3.5 right now. And so I think it can come down to a field goal here or there. Jets field goal kicker hasn't looked good. I mean, I don't know if they've got Greg DeLeg back, but I know they had another kicker in last week. But the Colts, I like them to cover the 3.5 points. Jets get the win at MetLife Stadium. They haven't been playing good enough to call it JetLife Stadium. And then the under at 43.5 is where I like that one. Yeah, I can see them kind of getting a resurgence on their defense there. I mean, they said they had a refocus on tackling, which I mean, like God forbid, an NFL team in the middle of the season has to refocus on fucking tackling.
Holding tackling drills.
Yes, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we've had a lot of bad football this season, man. I mean, like a lot of bad football.
It's not been pretty.
You got about 5 or 6 teams that have been playing really good football. The rest of the league's been looking pretty ugly so far. All right, so next up we got the Raiders at the Dolphins. Another team that looks like shit. 2 teams, really.
Yeah, 2 teams that look bad. They really
Dolphins
do.
with a big win last Monday,
Dolphins pulled off a big win against the Rams. So
big win last Monday.
The Raiders are getting 7 points. I'll take that 7 points. Give me the over 44, but I like the Dolphins ultimately.
We're in total agreement on this one. I like the same thing. Raiders are covering the 7. Dolphins get the win, but I like the over 2 as well at 44.5. All right, so the next up, we got probably game of the week here. It's division rivalry. Ravens at the Steelers.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
Yes, this is a classic rivalry here.
It is.
Pittsburgh's one of the teams that actually does a very good job of containing Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar's his record is what, 2-4?
Yeah, so
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
or something like that?
I mean, he does the Pittsburgh Steelers have probably defended Lamar Jackson better than anybody. It's the first time they see him with Derrick Henry in the backfield with him though too as well. But again, the Pittsburgh Steelers always play a good smash mouth
Tomlin's going to have these boys ready to go.
Oh, they'll be ready to go. And hey, it looks like he made the right decision switching to Russell Wilson. They've actually been able to put up points, make up some big plays.
Pickens is back in the game again.
Yes, he's been a viable option fantasy wise, everything else. So I actually like the Steelers to win this game at home.
I do too. I mean, they're getting 3.5 points at home.
Yeah, I got them as 3-point dogs. But either way, you give me the Pittsburgh.
Give me that 3.5 points at home. But I like the over in this one.
You like the over?
48.5. I think it'll go over.
You know what? I like the under. Okay. I like the under in this one just because I feel like if Pittsburgh does win this game, they're going to have to hold them down a little bit.
If they get into a shootout.
They don't want to get in a shootout with Baltimore, but Baltimore has also shown that they can't hold leads either whatsoever.
That's very true.
So that's the only reason why that under would be a little bit in jeopardy in my opinion, just because of the late touchdowns that Baltimore likes to give up in those games.
And, I mean, you could see a defensive touchdown or two in this game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But Baltimore, it's possible that their best God, what's the guy's name? He's hurt. He tweaked his ankle last weekend in the game.
Marlon Humphrey?
Yeah, I believe so.
The corner?
Yeah, he's questionable, highly questionable right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I hadn't seen an injury report as far as how. I mean, I think I saw he was limited in practice. Not even. I don't think he was even limited in practice. I think he was did not practice or something like that. So,
DMP.
Yeah, so we'll have to see as far as tomorrow if they actually get some type of limited action.
I mean, that could be if Pittsburgh can throw the ball a little bit. Oh, but Najee Harris is also been missing practice this week with a tweaked out knee. So
yeah, well, see, I mean, for me, you can't run against Baltimore anyway. So,
no,
I mean,
you're gonna have to throw.
And Najee Harris with his slow running ass isn't going to do much against him anyway. I mean, he did give me my anytime touchdown last week.
He got for you last week.
All right, so we got Seahawks at the 49ers. Seahawks in for another division rivalry here. Seahawks are 6.5-point dogs going into San Francisco. Yep. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I think San Francisco's finally going to find their stride here. Christian McCaffrey's back. I mean, while he doesn't light the world on fire last week, you can tell he was a little rusty. I think he'll be fine ultimately.
But he still looked like he was like Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's like, I think this week he's probably going to pound the hell out of Seattle. So I'll give up the 6.5, San Francisco to win at home, and I'll go over the 48.
Okay. All right. So I actually like Seahawks to cover this game. Okay. I can see it being a little closer because I got 6.5 points for them as dogs. But I do like the 49ers to win this game. And I got it at 48.5 as the over-under. I actually like the under on this game.
All right.
Yeah, I like the under. I just don't see the Seahawks putting a lot of points up against the Niners, and I don't see the Niners necessarily boat racing them as far as offensively. So
yeah, Metcalf, is he still out?
He's questionable, and he's actually leaning towards playing. He's on my fantasy team, so I actually got him. I got him in my lineup as of right now because they said they're leaning towards him playing here with that sprained knee that he had a couple weeks out there. All right, so next up we got the Falcons at the Broncos. Broncos was a tough game against the Chiefs last week. Blocked field goal.
That was a crusher.
Blocked field goal. They had the wrong guy at the field goal protection there.
Yep.
I mean, he's pretty much
he's sitting back on his heels. They loaded up that side, and they just
tell you to die.
him.
They tell you to die slowly, and he died quick as shit.
Yeah, he just
he died quick as shit. They busted through there, and so so in this game, like I said, I think The Falcons kind of showed me with that loss against the Saints last week. They might have a little imposter syndrome as far as that game. The Broncos got a tough defense. It's in Denver. I like the Broncos to win this game. They're 2.5-point favorites. So I like them to win this, and I actually like the under at 43.5.
Yep, we're in total agreement on this.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be an ugly battle.
Yeah, ugly battle here, but Denver gets this one done.
Yes. All right, next up, another marquee matchup this week. The Chiefs at the Bills.
This is probably the game of the week.
Yes, it's probably the game of the week. I don't know how this one did get flexed to Sunday night at this point.
Or even Monday, because that Monday game.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on that shit. But we got the Chiefs at the Bills. We got the Chiefs at the Bills up there in Buffalo. I got the Bills. The Bills are 2.5 point favorites. Yep. Excuse me, 2.5 point favorites. So when you look at Patrick Mahomes' record as being an underdog, like a dog, like underdog, like in his career, I think his record is very, very high as far as covering and reading that spread. Give me the Chiefs to go on this one. I mean, until I see something different, them showing how to. They just keep finding ways to win games.
They do. Man, they should have lost.
They should have lost last week. But I mean, with 2.5 point dogs on the road. I mean, fucking Taylor Swift's got a concert up in Toronto, so she's going to be able to shoot right down to Buffalo in the games. You might see her and Jason Kelsey up in the fucking booth up in Buffalo there, chugging beers together.
What do you like on the over-under?
Over-under was 46.5 points. I like the over on this game.
I like the over as well, but I like Buffalo in this
one. Do you?
Yep.
Well, they said, I think the stat was, the Buffalo was actually 3-0 in the regular season against
at home against the Chiefs. It's in the playoffs.
It's the playoffs is where they can't get it done. So we'll see. I mean, but it's going to be a great game. I think.
It's going to be a fantastic.
It's going to be a great week of football until we get to this fucking Monday night bullshit.
Sunday night, you got Cincinnati and the Chargers.
Yes. That's going to be another good game, I think. I mean, this one here, the Bengals have to win.
Yes, and that's why I'm going with the Bengals this week, just for the fact that they have to win. They don't win this game, their season's done.
T. Higgins is actually going to be back in the lineup up to this as well. I mean, and they show they can put up points.
And as far as good as the Chargers defense been playing, and Jim Harbaugh's got that team playing, I just don't think that they can keep up with Cincinnati.
And one of the reasons why Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are playing such good defense is because the style Harbaugh's been playing is he's actually having them play less defense. Because if you see, like Justin Herbert is passing, I think he had some of the least amount of passes of any starting quarterback out of the season this year. And so they're just pounding the ball. They're playing ball control offense. Smart offense is keeping their defense off the field and not having to be overexposed. But again, I'm with you. I think the Bengals, with their high-powered offense, are going to go into Los Angeles and they're going to win this game.
They're just going to throw it all over the place.
Yeah, and I like the under at 47.5 on this one.
I actually like the under in this one too, so we're in agreement on that.
Yeah, because the Chargers, they're not going to be. They're not a high-powered offense that's going to put up a lot of points in that stage of the game. So, and I don't think they're going to give up too many points, but I just think the Bengals will edge them out on this one. All right, so then finally we get to the end of this shit. The Texans at the lowly Cowboys.
That could be the worst game on the schedule.
It might be, man. I mean, this might be. I mean, outside of that, 13.5.
The battle for Texas.
Yeah, the battle for Texas, which is not going to be won by the Cowboys, in my opinion. They're still winless at home this season. You got Micah Parsons coming out and bashing Mike McCarthy, then trying to clean it up, but not really cleaning it up. And it's just a dumpster fire fucking of bullshit there.
Yeah, they just got destroyed last week. I don't see it getting any better. Give me Houston to cover the 7 points. I'll take the over 42 and Houston to win.
So the only reason why I took the Cowboys to cover this game is because I got them with 7.5. So that's 7 in that hook. That's the only reason why I got them to cover that, because I think if they lose by 7, boom, I get the cover. So I like the Cowboys to cover that. Obviously, the Texans to win because I think Nico Collins is coming back this week. And they're at 41.5 points in the over-under. I like the over on this one. Yep, so give me that one there.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, that is a slate for this week.
We got a couple more weeks of bye weeks, and then it'll be done. We'll be
done with bye weeks. I think the week 14, I think, is the last series of bye weeks.
Yeah, this is what, week 11?
Yeah, week 11. This season is flying by, baby. This is flying by. See, what do you got? You got any parlay action for us
I do. Week? I put together a little four-legger here. I think this one's very likely to hit just because of the matchups. Give me Saquon Barkley. Give me Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry, and Garrett Wilson. Four-legger, 822.
Nice. All right, so I got a couple. I actually got like 3 parlays going, but I'm gonna for tonight because I like to just stick with a Thursday night game. All right, so what I gave you my one that I like the best and I'm leaning on the most here going into it. So I like Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, Austin Eckler anytime touchdown, Terry McLaurin gets over 60.5 yards receiving, Saquon Barkley combination of 111.5 yards rushing and receiving yards, and then Jalen Hurts over 25 rush yards.
Yeah.
That's at plus 22.90.
I like
plus 22.90. So that's a 5-leg parlay for you. So that's my Thursday night juice for me going on here.
Is Robinson out again this week?
No, he's playing. Robinson is supposed to be playing.
I mean, Eckler's been playing well.
But Eckler's been playing well. I think he had 2 tuds last week. I mean, once he gets around the goal line, I mean, it's a probability of him getting in there. So I just felt like it leaning towards Eckler. I didn't really trust Brian Robinson coming off the injury there. So that's my parlay there. That Smokin' Token hot parlay of the week. Then we got a Director Dave.
Now, what you got, Dave?
Did you trade Tyreek Hill?
I did.
I'll keep him on there.
Okay. I traded his ass.
Oh, you did pull that trade off. Huh?
I did, man. I have to have running back help. My season is on the line.
So we got a 6-leg anytime touchdown parlay of Jaden Reed, David Montgomery, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Alvin Kamara at plus 59.40. I like that one. I like that one, Dave. That's Director Dave's dumbass pick of the week.
That's not as crazy as your last.
Yeah, that's not a plus 17,000. That's not as dumb a pick as you would think.
6-legger.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, so that's all we got covered for this week. I know we got a little college football playoff action, but that ranking is going to change like multiple times over. So I don't even want to dive in that until another couple weeks here because, I mean, we still got a lot of big games coming up this weekend here.
I mean, Mizzou's got a big game. They've got to win this weekend to have any chance.
Yeah, so we'll kind of dive in that maybe a little bit more next week. All right, so I'm Jason Smokin' Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to Director Dave. Keep us on the 1s and 2s. I'm Jason Smokin' Token.
I'm Bobby Light again.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.